specially chosen for Shaheen Sarani, Esper Stoneblade versus
boy,
Esper Stoneblade.
My boy Bernie playing the exact 75 of my standard list yesterday, and I think he's playing close to that of my legacy deck. If you see the one Vindicate there that people have turned their back on, and now people have realized it's always, you know what a Vindicate is? It's the bonfire of this deck. It's the miracle. It's the one out you have to anything that's killing you. And in this scenario, we don't know what it did, but I'm sure it did something real sweet.
Maybe just killed Dave Vendilion quick.
Yeah, I've blown up a land. BBD and top 4, he was struggling on land, and I'm just like, Stone Rain, you know, and that's a good card too. Kill that Caracas like we talked about. All right, looks like we have an Esper Stoneblade mirror match. This excites me. I hope you guys at home are excited to see Esper on Esper action. I don't know Don Reed's list.
But he is the guy we were watching actually earlier, remember, versus the High Tide player. We were watching.
That was him?
Yeah, it was him versus Michael Bernat earlier that you and I were just sitting next to them and watching.
Oh, okay. So then he's playing another, pretty much the same 75 as well, that we saw anyway. If you're playing 3 Lingering Souls and you're playing Intuition, you're playing Vindicate, you're playing a very, very close list. The only thing I've seen change is some people cut a Ponder for a preordained or something.
Okay,
We'll see a Jace on an empty board here.
Yeah, let's run down the board state. Jace, the Mind Sculptor, as you mentioned, on an empty board, goes for the Mind Sculpt. This is from Don Reed. He Mind Sculpts, or not Mind Sculpts. He just you know, plus 2s Jace. Fate Seals. That's the word I was looking for. Right. Fate Seals. He's on the road to Mind Sculpting now.
Right.
So he Fate Seals Bernie, puts whatever it was on the bottom. We didn't see what it was. Beyond the Jace, Don Reed just has 2 Island, a Glacial Fortress,
Ooh, that Inquisition is going to hurt. Because you never see Jace come in and then +2 on an empty board. It's always Brainstorm. But it actually worked out. You got the Snapcaster, which would have Snapcaster vindicated the miracle card as we talked about. Yeah. Would have done away with the Jace.
Okay, both players with 5 lands, and there's a Jace on board. Jace, Fate Seals, Don Inquisitions away Snapcaster. But we saw Jite in his hand alongside, I believe, what is that, Engineered Explosives?
Yeah, yep. 8 Explosives and a Jite.
And
he's gonna get Batterskull.
Stoneforge Mystic off the top. What's that bottom card? Is it
That's a. Okay,
I couldn't see it. It's blue. I thought it was a Vendilion Click possibly, but
probably was. Yep. I saw Bernie like shuffling up. He's playing a very similar list, if not the same.
I was just curious what he bottomed with Jace, you know.
Right. Yeah. It looked like he'd been doing it. All right. So Don Reed's gonna make a play here. It's going to be Enduring Inquisition. You wish that was a Thought Siege real bad right now. I think Jace here, he has Lingering Soul, so you can either bounce Stoneblade or the Stoneforge Mystic, which is what he's going to do, or you could have actually played Lingering Souls in Flashback. And
so he bounces the Mystic and then casts Intuition. I'm not Inquisition.
Yeah.
Intuition of Kozilek. He's just got a hunch. You got something good in your hand. I want to look.
Let me tell you why. Well, like you were saying there, he shouldn't have. He definitely should have been Inquisition there, because here's what would have happened. It would have passed turn. Bernie would be forced to play Batterskull, and then Don Reed would have hard-wayed Force of Will and then countered it right on the spot there. And then that would be it for the Batterskull for the whole match. But now, Bernie's free to cast it. Again, he's playing as a Jace, so it's not like Don can make any bad play. As long as the Jace is in play, Bernie's chances of winning are real slim.
So Lingering Souls there from Don.
A lot of times this matchup comes up to a Jace war, and you can win with this Batterskull here and this equipment. If Bernie had the Lingering Souls on his side currently and Don did not, then this would be a much closer game, I think.
So Don untaps with Jace the Mind Sculptor on 4 and 2 Spirits lingering there.
I think it's time for Brainstorm. Oh, actually, no, he is Germ. Definitely time for bouncing Germ. Just kidding.
Yeah. So he's going to go ahead and bounce Germ.
The next turn I would Brainstorm, because the mana involved in replenishing your Germ is very, very expensive. 3 to return it, 5 to play it. It's an 8 mana process. Oh, he has a Cabal Therapy here? Is that what he's doing? A flashback? Yep.
Looks like it, yeah. And look at your hand, he finds Flooded Strand.
Yeah, he hit the explosives, put in the graveyard. So here comes another Lingering Souls. Things are looking real bad for Bernie. I mean, real bad.
Well, he is
needs
up
a
again,
Jace,
so
he needs a Jace the Mind Sculptor immediately.
Once again, $10 draft number 16 to the Nicol Bolas banner.
But problem is Don has a Force Will, like we talked about. Ooh, that's
Yeah.
that's the best card you can probably draw against a.
so a brainstorm from Bernie. Does that resolve?
oh,
Bernie is getting a.
he might force this, and the reason being is because he's going to shuffle away that Fled Strand, or at least put it on top, and create some maybe some decent cards from that brainstorm. Oh no, he can't force. He flashed back Lingering Souls, so never mind.
Yeah, he hadn't even tapped his lands yet. It was we were into Bernie's turn while Don was still resolving his turn.
All those
casting
cards.
Lingering Souls.
He hit a Lingering Souls, which is good here. And that's
Swords
what-
to Plowshare is
Yes.
not great.
I think he's got to play Lingering Souls here, and then flash it back. Oh, he elects to keep the sword in his hand instead, which I disagree with because the Sword of Plowshare in this scenario is a pretty weak card.
So Lingering Souls on the stack. Obviously, we know it's going to resolve here unless there's something we're missing, which we could be.
This time is pretty rough. One game up right now with 15 minutes left for two.
Yeah.
This
So
is
Lingering,
might go to Drawville here if we don't speed up the process.
Lingering Souls resolves for Bernie, and he's got 2 spirits to Don's 3, and a Jace the Mind Sculptor.
I think it's time for Brainstorm now.
Wow. So both of these players are already currently X01. So they've both got a draw already.
Yeah, Don needs to brainstorm here. Fill his hand up. He's holding garbage right now. He needs to make these cards
he's
into
got
good
Force
cards.
Land and what else? Land. Force land. Okay.
Up, he's
Well, he-
bouncing tokens still.
Bounces a spirit, plays a land. He's fine with hard casting Force of Will, it looks like.
Bernie might. Jace has been piddling away here. Because Don doesn't have an answer to that last Lingering Souls token that's going to put a Jit on it, is it? Does he?
Doesn't look that way.
It's going to wrath the entire board of Don.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Don only attacks with 1 spirit there.
Immediately
Just,
equips here. And then immediately attacks. This is going to block. He's going to be able to kill all of Bernie's guys. And he's going to be able to return Batterskull to try to recast next turn. But actually, no, he's definitely going to flash at Lingering Souls.
so that's what he does. Flashes back Lingering Souls, and Don uses his Force of Will there.
Hard way. Tapping a Flooded Strand for mana, which is not possible, but I'm sure he wants to have
He
it.
can tap the Glacial Fortress
There
there. There, he's got the 5. It's just, yeah.
All right, so
Oh,
Don,
all right.
Don used the Force, and you know what? And in this match, use the Force. See what I did there?
Yeah.
So in this match, you really need to save that because what's the only card that Bernie can draw to really get him back in this game?
Jace the Mind
Jace the Mind
Sculptor.
Sculptor.
Yeah. So if you can protect the board from a Jace, you're in good shape.
Right. Don should have about 5 cards in his hand for brainstorming. I think he's played a little too safe. And this turn, especially with his Lingering Souls at dead, he has to brainstorm here. There's
Yeah, he's
nothing-
just holding 2 lands now. He's got a brainstorm.
He shouldn't face heal.
Yeah, there we go. And he finds land, brainstorm, Vendilion Click.
Yes.
And he can put back a couple of lands, play a fetch land, and shuffle.
The reason why you brainstorm a lot within this deck is because all your cards are so good. They're all so good. What are you afraid of drawing when you look at the assembly? The worst card draw you can do is hit a Sword of Plowshare. The second worst are card draw spells.
So the Jeet counters indeed take down the Lingering Souls, and Don passes the turn after playing a fetch land, polluted or Flooded Strand. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And Bernie looks to be cracking his fetch land here.
Bernie's going to get Vendilion clicked on his upkeep, which is going to.
You don't think he maybe saves that in case he returns Batterskull?
I don't think so. I think he wants Jace to. I think that's a 2-turn series. I mean, I think I would wait, but I don't think Don's going to wait this.
Okay. Interesting. So now upkeep, draw. Now on the draw step, he's getting Vendilion Click.
I think Don should be worried. I mean, Batterskull is annoying, but he has Jace out. So again, he's just worried about Jace. I don't think I sword here. I wanted to take that sword. You're at 16
He
life.
sorted the
trick on the
Vendilion
stack.
Click with the trick on the stack, and then
Oh.
he says ship the stone
He's
towards
not
my
gonna.
stick.
He's never gonna take that sword anyway.
So this is draw off Mystic,
Ooh,
and it was
another
another
Stone
Mystic.
Forge.
And yeah, I guess I'll just cast it. Poor Don, like, geez, really?
Hopefully, does he have a sword of Feast of Families?
Who, Bernie? You mean in his deck? Because he
Yes.
has nothing in his hand.
Yeah, deck, that's what I said.
Okay, I thought you said his hand. Okay, so finds nothing, equips the GT to the Mystic, and I imagine Jace is going to have to.
I think Bernie's playing too quickly. I think he's making mistakes. The equip there is definitely a mistake. You definitely want to return Batter Skull to your hand. Putting GT on your guy is a no play. You know, it doesn't really do anything on this turn. Because you bring back Batter Skull, you can elect not to, put into play with your Stoneforge Mystic. But otherwise, what's he going to do here? He's going to bounce Stoneforge Mystic to his hand, and now he can't return Batter Skull, and his threats are back down to 0 on board.
And a Brainstorm from Don finds a Swords to Plowshares in the top, so he's just going to Swords that Mystic.
Right. I think
Taking a look through his graveyard, maybe I'll draw a Snapcaster too.
Right, yeah. I wonder what I drew. Yeah. I think that Don is eventually going to win this game because Jace, again, you see what Jace is doing here.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's getting him so far ahead.
Right, but I don't know. The time is getting a little close here. 7 minutes and 28 seconds.
So this is he just goes with Snapcaster Swords to Plowshares. That was all during the end of Bernie's turn. And now he's drawing for the turn.
Another Sword of Plowshare, right?
And he's going to Brainstorm here. No, there's the sword.
Oh, there's the second Jace. This game is now coming to the point where Bernie is up a creek here without a paddle.
Yeah, so
you should leave the Jace floating around on top the entire game.
And Snapcaster gets in for 2.
I think he put the Jace 2 down.
2 down, yeah. And so he has land swords in his hand. Bernie has nothing in his hand.
Bernie's down to, I think he needs another Lingering Souls here to put enough pressure on Don here to get back in this. Usually the think after the card draw like that is a land back in my training days.
Yeah.
It's not,
well, it's not a land.
Yeah,
it's a Lingering Soul.
I demonic tutored for him.
There you go.
I told him what to draw and he did it. Best possible
really cool.
draw there.
I want to try that.
Yeah, try it.
I hope Don draws. Well, let's go with Force of Nature.
No, I know what he's going to draw. He's going to draw a land because I'll put land.
Oh, come on, don't cheat and use your
back.
prior knowledge.
Don't tell
You're
me
supposed
what
to
he drew.
guess and pretend you didn't know already.
Oh, he's fetching. All right, now we can guess.
Okay, now we can guess. Okay, Force of Nature. Force of Nature. Force of Nature.
So I'm going to guess.
Maybe he'll just get Force of Will instead. I'll be 2/3 the way there.
I'm going to guess a real card to see if it works. I can't possibly do 2 in a row. I'm going to say he draws a fetch land right on the top after using a couple. No. Brainstorm. I'm going to give him a Brainstorm. He's already used 2 or 3. Let's give him a Brainstorm right off the top.
I'm going to go with Force of Will because that actually is a real card. Let's see what he draws.
So it.
Didn't see it. Oh, it was neither.
We lose. All right, that
We
game
both
was.
lose. That's okay. So, Don Reed with the Snapcaster Mage and a Jace the Mind Sculptor on 2 counters, facing down 4 Lingering Souls, an Umezawa's Jite, and a Batter Skull on Bernie Wednesday.
I want to point out that he shuffled away the second Jace.
He did.
So now that this Jace is not long for this world, you got to think, why? You got to have a backup plan.
So Don, I believe, either has a Batter Skull of his own or a Jite of his own in his hand.
He has a Batter Skull. I saw
Okay.
it. He has a Batter Skull and he has a sword, and he has
It's a
an
Batter
Academy
Skull, yeah.
runes. So he's going to play Batter Skull here.
That was a strange decision because he did have the Jace available, and he did it when
It was before the Lingering Souls.
Okay.
But even so, what's the worst card Bernie can draw? Lingering Souls, second worst card is a Jace, is Legend Rule you, and then you have another Jace.
Right. Well, that's. I mean, he saw the Lingering Souls.
He didn't see the
drawn.
second Lingering Souls yet. Oh, you mean after he fetched? Yes,
I'm just saying, yeah.
You're
like-
right.
like
he
he
still
knew
decided
that-
to shuffle his library.
Yeah.
Right. I think because he put it 2 down too is a mistake. Should have been floating on top.
I mean, this is at the point where Bernie's trying to just win the match.
And now it looks to where Don
has
being
his
light
fighting for a
years
draw.
ahead, is now in deep trouble.
All right, so Jite on one of the spirits, which gets Swords to
I
Plowshare.
think they all went at Jace. I hope they all went at Jace.
2 went at Jace.
Oh, I think he said them all. I think he said.
Oh, the three, but
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
swords one of them. I'm
Right,
sorry.
right.
When you said all, I was counting the one that's obviously untapped.
Right,
He
right,
did
right.
not send them all, so 2 went. But yeah,
Yeah,
there were 3 went at Jace.
3
one
went at
got
Jace. Yeah, that's a safe play. There's some greed in people to try some crazy stuff there. All right, he elects not to equip Jite onto his token. I think he wants to return Batter Skull, unless he drew. What did he draw? Do you know?
I don't know actually.
Because I would equip Jite here, if he didn't draw something to cast.
So Don is out his Jace. Snapcaster Mage coming over to see if he can do battle alongside that Batter Skull.
He did draw something.
Yeah, it looks like a Swords to Plowshares potentially. And it is, and he swords the Germ.
Yeah, if he would have equipped Jite here, he could have got a few counters. And problem is, Don is down to facing 2 equipment with his 1 equipment. All right,
so he looks like he just, returns and recasts Batter Skull. So to get the Germ back. Yeah,
Snapcaster
was
connected
not
or
blocked, yeah. At least it didn't look like it was blocked. And get the Germ back for the Batter Skull and pass back. So
it looks
Bernie
like
went off the top. I don't know what Don has in hand, but
we're double equipping here if unless Bernie draws something. We equip Jite, we equip Batter. Oh wait, no, he's one land.
he needs one more land. And there's a Wasteland, so he can just double equip.
That is a boatload of damage.
He instead goes ahead and he's playing it safe and uses Wasteland to take out Don's untapped land there. And now he equips Jite. He can't equip Batter Skull.
I don't think Bernie thought of the equipping Batter Skull factor. A lot of Esper players think of it more just the Germ and the beat stick.
Right, you never think about equipping it, yeah.
Yeah, this is... If he equipped that Batter Skull, I think he would be unbeatable. Mainly because the Spirit's bigger than the Germ, A. If he puts on the Snapcaster, you can just remove a counter. And at this point, Don is just dead to outclass Spirit token.
Alright, Don draws. He has Thoughtseize, which is useless. I believe he has Intuition. I believe that's the other card.
Intuition? Okay.
I think so. I keep saying Intuition. I mean Inquisition.
Inquisition. Alright, so attacks with
we were talking about Intuition so much in the last two matches.
Card sweep.
It is.
Right. So Bernie takes it. I think Bernie, once his life drops another notch, he's going to realize that he probably should have equipped that Batter Skull. This has created an unstoppable creature.
Alright, so he draws for the turn, looks at it, doesn't show it to us.
Come on, Bernie, let's equip the Batter Skull this time. Better late than never. Yep. Yep, that's fine. Doesn't matter which one.
Batter Skull now on a Germ, or a Spirit, not a Germ.
He's playing it safe too by not putting all his eggs in one basket here. And then everybody's coming. That is 5, 6, 7. Any pumps? Maybe no pumps. 8 damage. Puts Don at 17. Now, Don can't really attack here. Tom Martell is making funny jokes on Twitter.
That's what he does. That's his thing. He also wins Pro Tours occasionally.
Yeah, he does. I'm not going to comment on this joke because I might get in trouble, but it was a funny joke, so we're going to just continue to watch the stream here in direct traffic.
Absolutely. So Don Reed now facing down not just a slew of spirits, but a slew of spirits. That's the official term.
We're going,
a slew of spirits.
We're doing a lot of similar letter discussions here.
What's that? A belfry of spirits, says Glenn Jones. Okay. We like the alliteration here in the booth, so we're going with a slew of spirits.
Slew of spirits.
He's got a spectral procession on the other side of the board.
Yep. He's got a gaggle of goats. Let's just
not goats.
No gaggle of goats.
Gaggle of goats is fine, but there's no goats.
Training posts.
Gaggle of ghosts. I'll take that. We'll go with that. If you want to go with gaggle.
So Bernie has now successfully gone to time, which I think he's ahead anyway. But now it makes this nearly just it's all over here for Don.
Yeah. So Stoneforge Mystic comes down, tutors up the Umezawa's Jite.
Which is an interesting play, because remember when he had that Wasteland, even though he didn't equip, you think he would have Wasteland the Academy runes, but he didn't. He had a Tundra.
So Mystic gets hit with the Jite tokens from Bernie before both Jite's Legend roll each other out. And we are left with a board state of Germ holding a Batter Skull on Don Reed's side, and Spirit holding a Batter Skull, plus 2 more Spirits on Bernie Wen's side. So a gaggle of ghosts versus a A lone German.
A lone
German.
German?
Apparently.
A lone German.
It's just German. Why not?
I like Germans. So,
I'm German.
why is it
Part
German? Why is it German a 0-0 though? That's racist, I think.
It's just how they work in the game.
Okay.
They seem pretty threatening. I see a lot of germs with those batter skulls. So.
Right.
Academy Ruins
So we're in turns now.
activated to pick up the Umezawa's Jite, and now
In turns, I don't think Don has the capability of killing Ernie. And even if we weren't in turns, like I said, I think Bernie is well ahead.
whew, Don playing very fast for being in turns. Jite comes down after an Inquisition, sees nothing but 2 lands in Bernie's hand, and now Germ attacks, and it deals some damage, and the Jite gets some counters, and we're at something of a stalemate here, where Bernie is up a game and neither player is either player is able. Jeez, I'm going able. That's not a word.
That's a couple.
Neither player is able to win the game. There we go. Got it. Just had to pause for a second.
It's okay. I think you have time in this match to get all straightened out.
You know, it was all that gaggle of goat stuff. Just got me completely tongue-tied.
When I was looking at the deck list yesterday from Esper from Bernie, and I saw trading posts, I was just tickled me. That's all.
Yeah. He doesn't
All right.
have trading posts in this list.
No,
though.
it's
not as good in Legacy?
No.
Okay.
It's a little pricey. All right. Well, Bernie's looking through his deck. I think he might have drawn a Snapcaster. You know, it's So I love the Snapcaster draw. What the players do once they draw it.
Yeah, it's like you kind of just want to draw land and then pick up your graveyard and look through it.
Oh yeah.
And then people play around
I would
Snapcaster.
lie to you if I said I've never done that before.
Yeah.
I am a tricky little magician.
Tricky magician. All right, so Don draws, and I believe that's turn 5. That's the die. The
So
dice.
Don's asking, since we drew game 1, do I die and do I lose? And they're letting him know yes, and that's all. So this is a interesting mirror match. It's not just a Jace war because Jace can be answered by
Lingering Souls.
because Jace can only deal with one big creature at a time.